Good morning, everyone. Hello. We're going to start. So, welcome to FabLearn 2019 in beautiful and cold New York City. So Nathan and I will give you some information about how to get around, the logistics and all of that. But first of all, we want to introduce our first speaker.
Oh, it's not me. Don't worry. I'm delighted to invite Erica Walker, Clifton Brewster Upton Professor of Mathematics Education, Chair of the Department of Mathematics, Science, and Technology, and also the Director of the Institute for Urban and Minority Education. And when she's not juggling and sitting in all of those different chairs, she's also somebody I really like to go see Marvel movies with because she loves cheering on superheroes punching bad guys. So thank you, Erica, for joining us today.
Good morning. This is so exciting to be here at FabLearn 2019. I want to officially welcome all of you here. You're a beautiful group. You look energized and excited, even for an early Saturday morning. So thank you for being here. It is my delight and privilege and super fun to work with these two gentlemen, Nathan Holbert and Paolo Blickstein, who are the conference co-chairs. They've done a wonderful job of putting FabLearn 2019 together, and I'm very proud to be here. We're really also very excited in the department about the conference theme, which is what role does maker education play in a world with growing social and environmental challenges? This is the time for such a conference and for such discussions, and we look forward to learning and playing and making with all of you this weekend. Please enjoy.
Okay, so we're happy to say that this year we had a record number of submissions and attendees. So you can see from this plot we had almost twice the number of submissions from 2017. So means that the community and the knowledge production is alive and well, and that's great to see. Also, we had a lot of submissions from educators from around the world who are, doing amazing and wonderful work in many countries. So it's really great to see the diversity of nationalities and types of work that's being done. And this is a word cloud of the accepted abstracts, and you can see, of course, making and all of that. But a big word, we can see is community and youth and creation and STEM and all of that. So we hope to see more words, next time over there as well. And we have 23 countries represented, and so that's a record also in terms of participation of different countries. And from every continent. And next year, obviously, we need at least one person from Russia and from China just to kind of color that half of the. So if you have a friend there, add them as co-authors. The most popular first name is Emily. So can all the Emilys raise their hand? Okay. So if your name is Emily and you have friends who are Emilys, their likelihood of being accepted next year are probably much higher than other names. So after that is Rebecca and Anna, Claudia. So all lucky names for FabLearn. Is there another slide? No, okay. And also another interesting fun fact is that the number of educators submitting papers is, as you can see, going up. Number of students submitting papers, researchers. Interesting, like engineers and designers are going down, but maybe that's because more and more engineers are becoming educators and researchers. More policy and admin people submitting. Also, that's also great. So we'll see what happens in years to come. But we feel it's great that we have all this diversity of people here, and not only adults submitting, but actually kids, as you see in the Young Makers panel later today. And okay, so now Nathan will.
So we're excited to have you all here in New York City, which I think we can all agree is way, 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 way better than Palo Alto. Perhaps a tiny bit colder, but I'm guessing there's better food that you can eat tonight. Maybe that's just me. It has been a while since we've all gathered together for a FabLearn conference, and quite a lot has happened in the world since then, right? A bit more chaotic, a bit more difficulties in the world. And I think many of us here would suggest that education is central to any and all of the answers to many of these challenges. But what about maker education? Does maker education play a role in a world with growing social and environmental challenges? And that was a theme we chose this year for that reason. And over the next 2 days, you're going to see lots of different research papers, educator panels and roundtables, demonstrations, student presentations. They're going to help us kind of wrestle with this question of what role maker education plays in this messy world. It's also why, for the first time for FabLearn, we've invited a keynote from somebody outside of the education world. And so tomorrow morning, we're excited to have Amanda Cox, data editor of the New York Times, talk with us about how our perspectives, our prior experiences, our values kind of impact and cause us to tell different stories of sometimes the same observations. And also, we're thrilled and honored to have Sylvia Martinez here this morning to highlight how the history of making and maker education kind of puts a pathway in front of us to imagine new futures that are more equitable and hopefully, fingers crossed, better for all of us in the years to come.
Okay, and so I want to acknowledge and introduce to you the FabLearn Fellows, which is a wonderful group of educators from around the world who are working with us, producing lots of content that's helping people get started with their maker programs and spaces and all of that. And so they will have a big role at this conference. And so I just want to ask them to kind of stand up briefly so that you can see who they are. Please. So the FabLearn Fellows prepared a little fun surprise for all of you. So they all brought from their own maker spaces from around the world this kind of maker objects or trinkets. So we have more than 1,000 objects that they made and produced and manufactured themselves in their own spaces. And they're supposed to be conversation starters. So if you meet one of them around the conference, stop them and ask for like one of those trinkets that you can have it. But the condition is you have to start a conversation and ask and know what they're doing and exchange some interesting knowledge and information. So it's a conversation starter with the fellows, and they really all have been doing amazing work. So I think you greatly benefit from that. And just don't kind of try to collect all of them because we don't have all objects for everyone. So don't be selfish, but get a couple and let everybody have. But we have 1,000 for 400 people, so about 2 per person. And it's a really amazing group of people. And one of the great things they've been working on for the past year is a book that we are actually launching today, and you got in your packages. So Meaningful Making is a book series that we have been editing, since 2016. So number 1 of Meaningful Making has more than like 30,000 downloads and actual books sold on Amazon. And now Meaningful Making 2, we're officially launching it today. So you got them, but in a few days, we'll put the link for download so you can download it for free. This is a NSF funded project. So it's open source knowledge and kind of publicly available. So anyone around the world can download the book for free, but you can also buy the printed version on Amazon if you want. And so this book has a ton of best practices, experiences, projects, reports from interesting and rich experiences and classroom activities with students. So it's a really an amazing source of inspiration for you in your own spaces, in your own countries. Before introducing our keynote, we have some logistics to talk about. And before doing that, I just want to acknowledge we have very special visitors that my parents and brother came all the way from Brazil just to be here with us. They are over there. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't think it's fair that you're trying to blame your parents for you, but teach their own. So we do have some logistics to sort of let you know about. First of all, the Wi-Fi, I'm guessing most of you have sort of figured that out by now, but there is an open Wi-Fi that's just TC. You can just click it and it should work. If you want to use social media to talk about the event, please do. That would be great. Post pictures of you with your trinkets. Talk about the different sessions, the different things you're learning about the sessions. But please use the FabLearn hashtag there. Don't add 2019 or NYC to the end of it. We're just going to go with FabLearn since that's easy to remember. Teachers College is an incredible maze. In fact, just yesterday I had to ask one of the volunteers how to get from one place of the building to another, and I've been here for like 5 years. So don't hesitate to ask for help if you're feeling lost or if you're not sure how to get to your room. There are volunteers running around. They have a big circle that says FabLearn volunteers. I couldn't remember the word circle. No, I keep thinking of it as a coaster, like you can put your drink on it whenever you're volunteering. Ask them for help. They'll point you towards rooms, and they'll get you where you need to go. Restrooms are assigned, but if you kind of go around the edges, you'll see the restrooms on each of the floors in Horace Mann. But there are events happening in other rooms and in other buildings in the university. In particular, you will be looking for a space called Everett Lounge and another space called the Learning Theater to check out the posters, the demonstrations, and all that stuff. And both of those are over towards Zankel. So you're actually going to kind of go outside and across the way. Don't worry, we will try to guide you. We'll make sure lots of visitors can point you in the right direction. But do please check out those events. They're fantastic. And those are going to happen during lunch. So if you look at the back of your badge, you've won. No, you haven't won anything. But you have these two little tickets, and they are your lunch passes. Now, it has a time on it, and there's a lot of you, so we've had to sort of split you up into two sort of lunch teams, and so please try to follow the time you have on one of your lunch tickets. Now, if your best pal has a different lunch ticket than you can feel free to swap with somebody else and try to kind of organize. So we're not going to check to make sure you use the one that we told you to use, but do try to follow what's on a ticket that you have when it's lunchtime. And that's going to happen during the poster session. So we'll have a madness session later today, and then we'll sort of send you off to eat and to go see posters, and it will be fantastic. Lastly, many of the panelists, we've asked you to put slides in a shared Google slide. If you haven't had a chance to do that yet, please try to do that before your session. Or if you need some help, find your track chair or ask one of the volunteers, and we'll get you set up. I'm sure I forgot other things, so we'll tell you about those other things.